What is up, and welcome to your Sunday edition of the On The Burst podcast. I'm your coach, Brandon Savage, and I'm joined this beautiful Sunday. You might be hungover. You might be getting about it on Sunday at the 6 a.m. run club. But I'm here with the big Les boy.
I know what I'd rather be doing than a run club, mate. Sitting here with you, talking about rugby league.
Yes, because we're here live, listening in your ears. We're here in the studio, and we're going to go over our top 10 moments of 2025. I'm so locked in on next year already. 2025 was such a good year for rugby league. We didn't know who was going to win the comp at certain points of the year. To be honest, I didn't even know during the final series who was the clear standout to win the competition. I think this year was the most open in a long time. A lot of big moments happened, so we're going to go over our favourites of the year. And I'm going to kick it off with, I think we've got to go with Marky Mark's freakish try.
Yeah, I like that. It was unbelievable. Like, he, it's going to be a real shame if he does end up going back to rugby, which I think it's just inevitable. That he will for that 27 World Cup. But that was just insane. His control, it was wild.
I think the game situation as well, they were chasing points, so he kind of needed to just do something. That wasn't much happening for the Roosters at the time, but he literally put the game on his toe, and the two hops with 1 foot, just freakish to think about. He did it so many times where the put downs were ridiculous, but that one in particular against the Bulldogs, they did lose the game, which was unfortunate at that point in time, but it was the try of the year, and rightly so. It is a shame he's going to rugby union, but at the same time, at least we got to witness this beautiful specimen of a person.
And could you imagine that went the other way and he dropped the ball or he missed his foot? Just like if that just went the other way, he'd be sacked. He'd be dropped the next week.
It's funny because when he did it live, I was watching. It felt like something had to go wrong here.
Yeah.
But just everything was pinpoint perfectly, and with luck, I mean, to get luck, you've got to be skillful, and I put this more to skill than I put to luck.
Yeah, 100%. He's a freak.
Number 2 on this list, we'll group these two together. Reece Walsh's run to the grand final.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the better runs of all time, right? It was just unbelievable. I mean, that game against Canberra, he gets sent off, or sent to the bin rather, and then comes back and just kicks a 40-20. Does a bunch of unbelievable things to get Brisbane back into the game, paired with a bunch of other games prior to that as well, with just some unbelievable performances, the grand final performances. You've got to definitely class that with the fact that he's won a grand final above your Haynes and your Barbers and whatnot for those runs, your Turbos. Unbelievable run.
I saw that Jared Hayne did a podcast with the Talking Para Boys, and he said that Reece Walsh's was by far the best of all the runs because he got a ring out of it. He got a premiership out of it. And I've got no doubt that this is the best run because a ring was resulted in it. Yes, it might have been shorter. Yes, it might have been not in the regular season. But he did it when it mattered, and I think that trumps all of them easily.
Yeah, 100%. I think that this run is going to do him all the better for next year because that level of confidence that he's going to have now just to continue this run and to play some really good footy, and then that level of control as well. Like with Reece Walsh prior to that, the way even that he started the year, you know that there was going to be at least 4 or 5 errors with Reece Walsh. You just knew that was going to happen in a game. Got to the point where he was not making errors, and if it was one, and it probably wasn't his fault. So he's developed his game really, really well, and I think you've got to definitely mention that when you talk about this run, that the development over the full year and just really knowing his game, Madge Maguire and the coaching as well. Unbelievable run from Reece Walsh.
It's not just the run, but the performance in the grand final. It goes down as one of the best performances in the modern era from a player in general. Easily the Clive Churchill of that matchup, and he just had so many moments where he put the team on his back. That I was going to put that try. The try he scored, that was ridiculous. Someone that small shouldn't be able to bump off blokes like that and just get over the line. Aren't you hurt, bro?
Yeah, it was insane.
Absolutely ridiculous, and I think that definitely deserves that. We've got Cleary's field goal against the Titans with all that controversy with the trainer, but in my opinion, this was one of the better moments of the year. Sitting back, looking at this game and just you know, when a player needs something from a certain situation, most of the time players can't execute it because every other person on the team, or on the opposing team, knows it's coming and finds a way to stop it. Cleary just still does it, and the pass from Mitch Kenny was just so good. And he's done it so many times.
He's the Iceman. He's the Iceman for a reason. It was a crazy field goal. And, like, even with all of the stuff leading up to it, Cleary was going to have that moment one way or another. So, massive, massive field goal from Cleary there. And, again, with the game circumstances, the Titans were on top for a lot of that game, particularly in the first half. But Cleary just found a way. He just found a way like he always does, the Iceman.
100%. Hunt and Renault win a premiership after both being ruled out of the game.
I think that's a great moment this year. Like, yeah, sure, they probably didn't, towards the back end of the game especially, attribute much to that grand final win, but Walsh did it for Hunt and Renault. Mam, his performance, they did it for Hunt and Renault. And it was such a good thing. Like, the whole reason that Ben Hunt came back to the Broncos was to win a comp and to get that ring, to tick that off his bucket list for his career. And Renault obviously just getting another ring on that finger as well. So good to see.
Redemption 10 years later from Ben Hunt, and redemption from Renault from missed opportunities 2021 and 2023. Arguably him going off the field did help win them that game. It changed something up. Just like the 2023 grand final when Jerome Luai went off for the Panthers, it changed what the opposing side was expecting.
You know what's crazy as well? Like, we talk a lot of crap about Renault with the injuries and whatnot, and obviously, what life after Renault is going to look like. He's been there for 4 years. They've been in 2 grand finals in 4 years.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy,
We're talking so much smack about his run at the Brisbane Broncos and how unlucky they've been, but he's been there when it's counted, and he's got them to the position to be in two grand finals, albeit they're not back-to-back, but, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable.
And the Rabbitohs actually didn't sign him because they didn't want to sign him on a 3-year deal, yet he's played 4 years already.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Okay, so they're the ones we have the same. So we're going to split up and talk about our own individual moments that we think were good. So you can kick it off from
all right, cool.
Next one.
I've got Tom Dearden's Origin performance in Game 3, and then obviously paired with that Munster, obviously in that game as well. But getting the win in that Game 3 of Origin after losing his dad during the week. I think that's just, you got to pair those two together. They were huge, huge moments. And Tom Dearden, I mean, we were umming and ahhing about where he was going to fit in this Queensland side and how quickly he wanted to bring him in over certain guys, DCE. The whole dropping of him, it was going to be a massive talking point depending on the outcome of this game. But Tom Dearden stood up. He had a humongous performance in that Game 3, and then Munster to get the win and play with so much passion. Like, he was probably second or third best in that game as well for Queensland. So, I think, as a New South Welshman, it sort of stings a little bit to talk about.
100%.
But they were great. They were great.
Yeah, I've also got Queensland winning in New South Wales for the decider. It would be very bias of me if I didn't have them in the top 10, because if New South Wales did it in Queensland, then I would have put that there 100%. Queensland winning over New South Wales, who were expected to shit in this series. I just think brilliant effort from Queensland, and after Billy bouncing back from that comment against Aaron Woods early in the series, like, he was so down and out, and they were expected to just get pile driven from there. I think it's really good how it panned out in that point in time. I've got 3 Canberra matches.
Yeah.
And they're all in different categories, so they all deserve their moments of the year in each spot. So I've got the Mudgee Madness with the final try with KO Weeks. I've got the Canberra thriller against the Broncos in the semi-final. I think the Ben Hunt finish. The 3 finishes, the Canberra won twice, and then Broncos get the win eventually. I think that was a sliding doors moment. Like, that decided the premiership, that game, in my opinion.
Yep.
And Canberra versus Melbourne at Magic Round, KO Weeks, chip over the top, gets the bounce and seals the game, and seals Magic Round with a nice cherry on top.
I can't believe that last one wasn't in my list. KO Weeks has had some unbelievable moments this year.
I can't believe that there is one that I've got here that I cannot believe is not in your list. I'm leaving that till quite last.
Sweet. Cool. Look, I had KO Weeks' golden point try as well against Penrith. That for Ethan Strange to be back in that position. I think it was even Hosking as well that was back there to catch that kick as well. And then just to orchestrate that unbelievable play. Like, they had no right to score that try. But they were just, unbelievable. KO Weeks was obviously the face to it and the man to finish it off. But the Raiders, it shows that they can be a top side in this competition. And it also shows that they've got the effort areas that Ricky would have instilled in that side too.
That's exactly what it showed, because they had so many finishes like this against the Sharks earlier in the year. We saw Seb Chris was just showing up on different side of the field. That's how he scored that winning try. And it's just them showing up for each other, which created all these moments. And the fact that they beat all these quality sides, Melbourne, Penrith and Broncos, is not something to blink an eye at. Yeah, they went out in straight sets, but they beat teams when teams were trying to beat them.
Yeah, 100%. That just shows the grit of this Canberra Raiders side, right? Definitely a Ricky side there. My next one is Lomax kicking the field goal with the broken foot against his former team. Huge moment in the year. And obviously Lomax goes on to miss a couple of weeks after that as well with that broken foot. But just a huge moment. He was injured. He looked like he was going to not play the rest of the game too. There were so many times where the commentators were saying, when they're going to take him off, what's going on? He's obviously injured. Like, he was limping back and forth. Couldn't get back on last, and gets into the position to kick a field goal, and not just any field goal. It was at least 35 odd meters back and to the right-hand side of the field. Incredible stuff. Only Lomax could do or have that sort of moment. I think it's definitely got to be in the top moments of the year for sure.
Yeah, 100%. That's not in my top 10, but I think it was a very good moment. I think a close one, very similar, was Jamie Humphries winning field goal against St. George. St.
God,
George,
I'm a South fan. I should shoot myself in the foot for that.
Yeah, St. George. I've got Kieran Foran's retirement game against the Titans. I think these legends that retire, I think we tend to not appreciate their final games as much as we do. And I think this has a lot to do with a lot of these legends play finals, and you don't actually know when their last game is going to be, whether it's a grand final. A grand final, the moment is taken over more than the player's actual last game, or a semi-final. You don't know if that's actually their last game or not. Whereas this game was his last game. Everyone knew it. They came back. They avoided the spoon against the Tigers, and he went out a legend. He did the same for the Kiwis, and I think in these sorts of moments, it's a bit sad, because it's the last time you see these players in NRL colours, and you look back on these moments and think, man, what a time that was. And we're going to look back at these times with Foran on the field and be like, man, he was a great player, and I got to witness him play and show his best skills. Could be the same for Ryan Papenhuyzen as well. Even Zach Lomax.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's pretty sad to see as well.
Yeah, it's actually wild to even put that into perspective with those sort of guys. We probably won't see in the NRL again, but you definitely won't see Kieran Foran playing anymore, and it is sad. Such a great player of our game, emphasises toughness, his defence, but also just his skill. There was a game against the Warriors even where he threw that unbelievable cutout pass, that silky little cutout pass. And no one gave the Titans a chance in that game either, and they came out and they played extremely well. But yeah, Kieran Foran, he did it his way too. There's a lot of talk about the Titans, and they finished at the bottom of the ladder, but for him to go out on his terms and get a win was great to see.
The most Aussie Kiwi I've ever heard as well.
100%.
What do you got?
I've got the Tigers Horde.
Oh, Jesus. I nearly broke my watch then.
Geez, you nearly broke a lot of things there. I think that was definitely one of the better moments of the year for me. Just the whole outburst of that, obviously with JC starting that little movement there, but then to see the Tigers players doing it in a game, and the whole controversy with Brett Naden as well post game, and just like all the social media posts and just how all of that unfolded, but how that just became such a big part of our game too. Like you saw a lot of players doing it, and shout out to JC, but shout out to the Tigers as well, because that was probably one of the funnier.
For putting that on the map. Shout out to Angus Crichton as well. For doing it when he scored a try. Shout out to the NRL Fanatic for trying to get that going too. Broncos versus Penrith preliminary final. That's one of my moments of the year. I think there was a lot of moments in this game that Adam Reynolds nailing the goal from the sideline, Reece Walsh missing from in front. There was just a lot of up and downs of this game, and I think it just epitomised the legacy and the dominance of Penrith for the last 4 years. It just epitomised that this is what needed, not necessarily this is what needed to happen, but they needed to come up against a hot side like this for the run to end. And Broncos, I know we're saying it again, their run to the grand final, but they couldn't have gone to that grand final any harder by going the Raiders in that circumstance into the Penrith Panthers, beating them at Suncorp when they were down 14-0 at halftime, into the premiership favourites of the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think it's even better as well because he missed the goal in 23.
Yep.
And
he wasn't kicking the whole game. He just put his arm up and he was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah. And he just gets in, he does it, and nails it. So good to see that from Renault.
Yep.
What's
your next one?
I have got. What have I got here? I've got the Raiders just getting the minor premiership. I think that's huge. We had them in bottom 4. Well, I certainly did anyway. I had them getting the spoon.
I had them 13th.
Yeah.
Not trying to brag, but it's the highest.
You're closer.
That's the highest
yeah.
anyone I know has predicted.
Yeah. I did not have high expectations for the Canberra at all, and for them to prove everyone really wrong, I think is just unbelievable.
Yep.
What they were able to do this year.
This brings me to my last one, which I feel like you're going to feel like an idiot that you didn't put in.
Great.
Latrell's 50-meter field goal against the Broncos to win the game.
Far out.
You regret?
Yeah. I regret it. I regret missing
There are so many moments that happen throughout the year that these things are easy to forget, but just like the Cleary field goal against the Titans, Latrell is one of the only players that can just say, give me the ball, and he'll do the thing that he intends to do. A lot of these other players, when things happen, they're kind of hoping this happens. Cleary and Latrell are the only two players that I know the ball goes to them and they make what happen.
Yeah. Mate, I'll tell you what, I might lose my Rabbitohs radio gig after this. I've just lost two moments. I've gone for 2 from 2 here. Yeah, unbelievable. Latrell just does those sort of things out of the blue. Even that cutout pass against the Roosters, that was maybe forward, maybe not. Has those moments, Latrell. He does some pretty incredible things, and keen to see where he sort of fits in next year too.
I'll tell you what my favourite part of that cutout ball was as well. The fake double pump.
Yeah.
The massive Mayo. He should have been sponsored by Hellmann's from that one, because that was...
Maybe he's off to the Shire as well. Hopefully not.
And what's your last one?
Mate, Leka Halasima, the try on the bell. Huge moment, especially with, everyone was sort of talking about him. Who's this young gun that no one's really heard from in the lower grades as well? Just comes onto the scenes and absolutely kills it. To get that try on the bell out of absolutely nothing, there was nothing on. We thought that there was just going to be a sitter. It was going to be him taking the hit up, and that was the end of it. But just some individual brilliance there from Big Leka. And it was unbelievable to watch. I think it was Tanner Boyd that put it up for him.
Yep.
And he takes the chocolates there. He's
didn't really put it up. Didn't he miss, get a field goal charge
He did.
down or something?
He missed a field goal, and then I think it was like not a chip, but he put it up near the goalpost.
Yeah.
And then Leka got up there and scored.
Yep. Yeah, cool. All right. And that brings us to shout out to Vegas as well. I reckon Vegas kicking off the season, all these feelings I feel during these moments, I got at Vegas when the crowd goes up and
mate, you know
Xavier Savage running down the sideline.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. We missed Xavier Savage's try. That was a moment for me. Yeah, that was huge.
I reckon that definitely deserves to be up there, Nelly, right?
Yeah, that's surely. That was a massive moment. Yeah. No one expected that from him.
Or Cleary running up to Kennedy saying, "What are you doing, you Gronk?"
You know what? It actually made me look very good with my preseason predictions.
Yeah, it did.
To be honest,
it did after round one.
I was feeling very good about myself up until halfway through the year.
For sure. All right, I want you to cap off your top 5 moments for 2025.
So go through the 5?
Yeah, just go through your top 5.
All right, my top 5. At 5, I've got Lomax kicking that field goal with a broken foot. At 4, I've got Kale Weeks' golden point try. And then at 3, I've got Marky Mark's freakish try there as well. Number 2, Tom Dearden's Origin performance, and Munster obviously getting the job done after losing his dad during the week. Number 1, it has to be Reece Walsh, his run, and Broncos getting the grand final win. What about you?
I love it. My top 5 moments for 2025. Number 5 is Canberra versus Melbourne, where KO Weeks chipped over the top of Ryan Papenhuyzen, gets the bounce and scores the try to cap off Magic Round. Number 4 is the Canberra thriller against the Broncos, where Canberra won the game twice and Ben Hunt seals it with a 40-metre field goal. He can't believe it. No one can believe it. Hits the post and they go through. That's a sliding doors moment for the grand final. Number 3, I've got Mudgy Madness, where KO Weeks once again scores the try in Golden, or near, was it Golden Point?
I think so.
Yeah, Golden Point. He's there again. Ethan Strange. What a no surprise that Ethan Strange was involved too. Number 2 is Cleary's field goal against the Titans from 40 metres out. I thought that was a great moment of the year, and just the fact that he can do it off his dick, I just cannot believe it. And number 1, the Latrell Mitchell field goal from 50 metres out against the Broncos, capped off with a sneaky try at the end against the Broncos, where he just crawls over, and it was very sneaky.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of controversy, and Buzz Rothfield saying, the integrity of the game, shut up, you pom, your bloody moral victories. But that's my top 5 for 2025.
Perfect, mate. Sounds good.
All right, I think we're done, and yeah.
Enjoy your Sunday, guys.
Good session. Enjoy your Sunday.